I've got an elderly friend who habitually dates women uh, below 20. I mean, if you tell him, I've got two girls that I want to introduce to you. One is 19 and one is 18, sight unseen. He says, I'd really like to meet the 18-year-old. I tell him, Mike, you haven't even seen her. You know, maybe you like the 20-year-old, the 19-year-old better. He says, no. And he's very well off. He's very well off. He's constantly traveling the world, and he has a nasty habit of buying homes and renovating wherever he goes instead of checking into a five-star hotel or a serviced apartment. Even he says, I want it to be exactly the way I like it. Anyways, that's not the point of my story. The point of my story is one day we were sitting together, and I asked him, what is it, about this? Because I myself, I cannot hold a conversation with someone who's, that much younger. Honestly, more than 5 minutes. What am I going to tell them? They're on a totally different wavelength. They're in a totally different, stage in their life. And is it the tight body? Is it what is it? And he said, believe it or not, yes, all of those, play into it. Of course, younger, thinner, nicer body, everything. But he says the first and foremost, the reason I like younger and younger women, past the legal age, he said, is that the baggage and the expectations. And I can understand that 100%. If you've been in the similar situation, you understand. When you meet women that are older, they have so much more experience, not in a good way. They have so much more expectation. They have so much more baggage, not to mention children, divorces, exes. Who wants to deal with that if you don't have to? If you don't have to, who wants to deal with that? I mean, if it's your own children or whatever, yes, I understand. But if someone else's, why would you sign up for that when you don't have to? I remember there was another friend I had who was a star salesman at his company. He was, I mean, continuously salesman of the month, salesman of the month, salesman of the month, every month. And then one day he said, "You will not believe what happened." I said, "What happened?" He says, "My boss called me into the office, and he was loved me. I made him money because I was so successful." And he says, uh, you know, "We're gonna have to lower your commission." I said, "Excuse me? What?" You know, I'm your star salesman. I sell more than the other five put together. He says, "Yeah, I know, but it's coming from the top. I'm only relaying what the owner wants." And later on, he found out that is actually very common practice in corporations, in corporate world. When a salesman is selling a lot and his commission has have been raised over the months, over the years, he is costing the company actually too much money in expense. He's got his salary, he's got his commission, he's got his bonuses. They figure they could bring someone in new, fresh, younger. They could train him, and he could and pick the ones that are good. The old Pareto principle: 20% of the people do 80% of the job. Pick the new of the new hires, pick the one that's doing the best, and then get rid of the ones that are dead weights, and pay him a lot less because he's new, so his expectations are a lot less. Instead of paying him 25% commission, we'll pay him 12% commission or less. And it's the same principle that applies to women for a man with options. When you can have someone with so much lower expectations, all she wants is a new pair of shoes or a little handbag. Whereas someone who's older and, experienced with much more expectations, no matter how much in shape she is, she's got a world of baggage, physical and emotional, attached to her like a monkey on her back, and you've got to deal with that. And it comes out in every situation that you're dealing with. From something as rudimentary, as elementary as picking a place to eat. Oh no, I don't like this. I have allergy to this and all that. You know, to bigger decisions. Oh, I'd like to go on a vacation here. No, I don't like to go there. I've been there twice with my ex or whatever. It wasn't good. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You have to whereas someone who's fresh, the slate is clean. You don't have to deal with all her past experiences, negative and positive, all her drama, all her mistakes, the results of all her mistakes, her exes, her children, her expectations, etc., etc., etc. When you don't have to, when you don't have to. I hate to make a crude, comparison besides the salesman thing that I told you, but just imagine a car. You know, as much as nice as it is, okay, you're buying a 19, 90 Rolls Royce Corniche. Yeah, it's a beautiful, gorgeous car, still, in good shape and everything. But as soon as you hear a sound or a light comes on, you better say goodbye to $5,000 to $10,000 of repairs. So that's it. So it's not just a young, tight body that older men with options go for younger women. It's the baggage. It's the baggage, the expectations. Why do you have to put yourself in a situation to deal with that when you don't have to? All the best.